Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESEA MDL Season 30 broadcast of the matchup between PC419 and Breakaway Esports. I am you and me, and I'm joined here tonight by Bemi and Jevons. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good, actually, because it's Monday. It's the start of the week. You don't always like that. You got to go back to work or something or other like I did. But I had something to look forward to tonight, and that was this game and the one following it after.
I'm doing fantastic. I had a full weekend of esports, and I'm capping it off with some stuff on CappingTV.
Oh, you're capping it with some capping. Let's.
And it's a capital idea to cast with these fine two folks.
Oh, is it now? I appreciate that I'm a fine folk.
It.
And well, we're just waiting for everyone to jump into the game. And my game.
But yeah, we could talk about the teams a little bit. First off, which is Breakaway versus PC419, and I think PC419's been doing pretty well recently. From the last few games
they've had an interesting start. I think they're definitely, if you don't mind me jumping in, I think they're definitely going to be picking up more momentum. They have an interesting opponent here tonight in the form of Breakaway, who are in a sort of similar position, except for the fact that their start to 2019 has been filled with a fair few more W's. So
how many more are we talking?
At least
if that's
4
too
or
big
5,
of a number to ask of you. Oh wait,
no, I didn't count it before. I just saw a lot more green for them, but they're seeing a few more wins. So they actually Breakaway, that is. Their roster, a fair few of them had a bit of a mixed 2018, but like some of our teams that we've seen for this season 30 and kicking it off into 2019, a few teams are looking pretty refreshed and doing much better for it. So Breakaway is going to be one of them. PC419 is in a bit of a different spot in the fact that they're actually a much newer lineup. They're a pretty young team overall, and for most of them, in fact, I think all of them, they've only ever really been on this lineup with this org, PC419.
Actually, no.
Oh.
I know Pondon has been with a few teams previously. Pondon has actually been around in the scene for quite a while himself, and he's actually a really good player. I'm not sure about the rest of PC419 personally. But I do know Pondon has been around. And are you okay, CJ? I know he's been on PC419 for a while. I'm not sure where he came from before that. On that same note, with Breakaway Esports, these guys have been together for quite a while now, and they are an extremely strong team. So this matchup is going to be quite hard for PC419 to be able to take out the W tonight.
I gotta agree with you there. That they're pretty much going to be fighting a bit of an uphill battle against Breakaway, but for PC419's sake, I mean, this is the most standard map you could ever pick for a CS:GO game. It's Dust 2, so
it is CS:GO. What do you mean?
Yeah,
it's the only map in the game.
Oh, yeah, that's except for Office, right?
Oh, Office and
about
Vertigo.
It, yeah. Vertigo, my god.
Oh,
Wait.
It's been a while
So...
since I've played that.
yeah, it's been at least a few years, but with Dust 2 at least, this is a map that so many teams have pretty much cut their teeth on. All of the warm-up servers alone are pretty much on this map, so both of these sides should know this map inside and out. There are no excuses here.
It does raise an alarm when the team says that this is their best map, and it's almost like kind of saying that you're really good on a bike with training wheels.
A professional bowler, as long as you put the bumpers up, that's
exactly. Well, yeah, it is very harsh, but it's honestly, it does also say that a bit about like also new teams as well, where they kind of synergize, because Dust 2 is kind of starting that. I mean, if you look at a good example would be Big. Like Big their best map used to be on Dust 2 when they were starting out and they were new rosters. This was back in like the Nex and Legia days. But like now their like best map I think is like Mirage or something. I don't know. It's just like
So
it's
Dust
a
3.
starting point.
Yeah.
Dust 3, yeah.
I have to say, Dust 2, if that isn't your primary and best map when you're starting out as a team, I'm not sure what you're really doing. You have to start off with Dust 2, start off with the basics, and then branch out to Mirage and Inferno.
What if you
Those
start
are the
on
next
Nuke?
2 maps that you go to. Who plays Nuke? Don't even go there.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
Nuke's a great map. What are you talking about?
Nuke picked a few times,
It drives me
just most
mental,
recently at
trust me.
Katowice. So, yeah, it is one of those maps where I think a lot of teams just sort of went to it because, well, if we've got Nuke, if we can actually play that well, then throughout the veto, a lot of the more standard maps are going to get banned out.
Reverse psychology.
Kind of, I guess, yeah.
A lot of
But I mean,
time,
at the very least, I mean, you may even get that freebie ban as well if the team is like, we know nothing, we can't do Nuke at all, and they can do it even a little bit. We just get rid of it because you don't necessarily want to roll the dice there. But that's at a different level.
Yeah.
As for Dust 2, I think yeah, you don't necessarily see it played too much at the very top tier anymore. And I think it's purely for the fact that, yeah, everybody knows everything about this map. And
Well,
I think for that reason, that is going to be perhaps 419's
I have to
real chance here.
stop you really quickly there. Dust 2 did get remade, so all of the nade throws and everything are different, so everyone had to relearn the map. It is essentially the same map, but all of the flooring, walls, skyboxes, all of that are slightly different. So you can't throw nades from where you used to, from where you knew. And with that, everyone did have to learn it again. So it's not a map everyone knows. Because of that change, a lot of people don't actually know the map that well anymore. I mean, you know the basic layout, but you don't know nades anymore.
True. Although a lot, this new version has been out for
A while, a long time now.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say that the tricks of the map have been figured out again. Now, whether these teams have actually paid attention to that and found them is another question. I mean, 419, I believe in this matchup, actually do have a pretty all right win rate on this map. We've got no real history for the side of Breakaway. So if this is just something they haven't really practiced in a while, or perhaps they've maybe been lulled into a false sense of security, thinking that yeah, it is Dust 2, and we know this map. We've known this map for decades now, which is really depressing to think about. When, but
well, yeah, but there's also the possibility that, like, in the sense, if you think about some best of whatever maps, they kind of use this as a sort of, people use a very neutral map that is a great way to have learning points as to study playstyle behaviors and VOD review. If you look at a bunch of stuff, people like to review most middle of the road maps just to see what their playstyle is individually. So this could be potentially some line of thinking that, well, you know, we're not really familiar with PC419, then maybe we want to like just get some more information about their playstyle before we even think about taking in more technical maps.
I feel like these two teams have actually matched up against each other in the last season of MDL, though. So
They have.
They do have that experience against each other, but I don't actually know how often they scrim. If Josh could help me out here, they might scrim every now and then. They may not scrim at all, and the only time they come up against each other is in these MDL matches. So they will be likely studying and looking over each other's gameplay through VODs of them versing other teams, but at the same time watching somebody's gameplay and actually versing them and learning how they play through actual matches or scrims is a completely different story.
Well, that it is, yeah. And I mean, in regards to the ability to be able to research against the other team there if they aren't scrimming, even if they have played against each other, you said, yeah, that would have been last season. So towards the, I'd say from about September onwards in 2018, we did actually see a fair few roster changes throughout there. So I think perhaps a little bit of that can be thrown out the window. not a huge amount of it, but you can't necessarily rely too heavily on past results.
That is
But
true.
Breakaway have been playing pretty well for 2019. So I think PC419, especially with perhaps the support they're getting from their coach, would actually have a fair bit of information going into this.
Yeah, and I've just got information. This is the third PC419 match, and they've won one and lost one. So there is a little bit of information that could be studied so far. So they can study how they won a match and how they lost a match. So they can. There is study potential for Breakaway to come up against PC419 here.
I would like to say, just in terms of some of the players on Breakaway as well, they are... Well, actually, it's really both sides here. They're both quite young. They've been playing in the scene for a while. As you said, Pondon, he's been around for quite a while. He's only 17, which is pretty good. Additionally, Breakaway have also got a couple of young'uns. So we're going to be seeing a bit of a battle between fresh blood here as well. So perhaps even just as a bit of a side note, pay attention to a few of the names in this match, because you might be seeing them a lot more often and at closer to the top of the ANZ region, perhaps ESEA, and if we're really blessed, perhaps even much further overseas as well.
Potentially. We're definitely going to see a lot of aggressive playoffs as well. Usually with the younger age, you see more aggressive takes. So we're probably going to maybe also potentially see, just talking about this map more specifically, a lot of pushes onto B. Because I feel like you can be a lot more aggressive on B without necessarily any punishment, as long as you drop some kind of incendiary or smoke to get anybody at camping on CT flushed out, so that way you can just rush in. Because if you just go through that smoke, you get just mowed down so quickly. So that's another thing that I do want to see, is just how they use utility with their aggressive playstyle. That's kind of a huge thing that I sort of see a lot of the time, even with professional teams that are like not even young blood. Just the aggression from, like, let's say an example for a team like Tyloo. A lot of the time they just drop utility so quickly onto the points that they don't really have any way to engage or steer the team fight. So that's something I do kind of like to pay attention out for, and hopefully we don't see too many aggressive buys as well.
Yeah, that's another thing that we have seen from some of the young teams, is that pretty much those aggressive buys, they will pretty much go for situations that they don't necessarily have to. They kind of put themselves or set themselves up for a bit of economic strife. Additionally, we also don't see a lot of teams go for perhaps the tactical timeouts either, which...
That's true.
Yeah, which has always kind of...
I keep forgetting, it's like, is it not even part of this MDL?
It's available.
It's
standard tournament structure. I believe you do get those 4 30-second timeouts.
It really grinds my gears.
Oh, does it?
That's an old meme.
Nice.
But no, it's something that I really criticize teams on. When they are falling behind, or they just need a moment to take a breath, to settle down and actually look at themselves, turn around and just take a moment to calm down. Instead of having the emotions running your mind and the game, you have a moment to take a breath and actually try to turn the game around and talk about what you need to do. And in saying that, we are heading into the knife round.
I just want to quickly say, the introduction of sports psychology to CSGO has been one of the best things.
Oh, absolutely.
For the sport.
Big time,
I'm super happy that they started doing it, because, one, the level of the game just went up insanely well. I mean, a lot of Astralis' successes can be attributed to...
with their mentality coach.
Exactly. I can't remember his name, but he's an ex-Special Forces dude, and he's pretty insane. But that knife round is over, and just gonna have a look and see exactly which side the teams are gonna take here. I think
we'll find out in a moment. And PC419 are going onto the CT side, and I do have to say, like, having a psychologist or a mental coach is absolutely required. It's something that I personally have a psychologist in my real life, and it helps in every aspect, whether it's just regular life things or being able to just realize your mind and settle down in situations that are stressful, or you're getting agitated when you really need to relax and just focus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love the
Mindfulness
Renegades coach.
is something that everybody should be googling. It's fantastic, especially if you just want to get better at the game. If you feel like you're letting some of your game slip because you just get tilted at a point, or you find that you're just hitting highs and lows in the game too easily, then yeah, absolutely, that's something to look into. But the pistol round will be kicking off now.
That it will, and Noisy lining up that mid smoke, so it does look like it will be an A hit for Breakaway, and there's 3 players on long for PC419. They're expecting a fast push out towards long, but no, it is going to be an A split, and 3 players here have to hold everyone off. Pondon has rotated just a little bit, hanging out in mid, and here comes the push.
Split.
Ooh, look at long. Oh, this trade's going back and forth.
Well, the split approach seems to have done the trick. It's at least worn through a bit of the CT defense, and
Jiro.
Jira Noisia are basically, gonna start playing off the rest of PC419 there. The music's kicked in, so
J-Ro
pretty
with
much
the
be
4K. That
Yeah.
shutdown in the CT was actually really nice.
yeah, through smoke he barely saw the CT player, and then is basically just able to go very quick
Tap tap.
change in.
Dead.
Yep, that was it. P250 is great for that. Sometimes it's got to be
It
feeling real good.
really
But
is.
fast B
So
approach
strong
seems to
and
be the name of
long.
this one. Utilities
Deagle's
held them
invested.
back a little bit.
I always worry about these investments into Deagles. I don't feel like it gets a lot of reward, especially in sort of a map like this where usually you see a lot more team fights clenched up like this. Deagles don't really get a lot because, if they're pushing B, there's really no long ways, really good ways of getting the Deagle, because the Deagle really appreciates that long range going on long. It's just very good, straightforward stuff from Breakaway. Again, the utility was there, and then again, this also they're going to invest into this round 3, but won't be as much as they want, or they're going to go for a slight eco again. Okay, I've 2 slight ecos. Why not just go for the full save the last time, or just a slight eco on the other one?
Well, their money's still doing quite well. Like all of them are well above 2,000 there, so you might as well just see what you can get away with. The main concern here though is that if they had a similar sort of buy, they've used all the utility now. Those guns didn't help them out too much, especially the lack of armor as well.
No.
So I think they're just going to be chewed to pieces here.
Yeah, they are able to do a lot of damage with these pistols, but at the same time, they're up against SMGs and a couple of rifles, so they're not going to get too far with it. And Beatty here, he has been able to get one. Can he get a second? Yes, he can. Takes down Andy and will find a nade in his face. And now Shaw with the MAC-10 that he's recovered will get taken down. And that is decent damage for just a couple of pistols brought up. And now PC419 on the 4th round are able to buy everything they wanted with an AWP on Mizuna. Mizuna? I don't know how to say his name. I actually haven't seen him playing before, so I'm interested to see who this guy is and how he what's the word I'm looking for? How he performs.
How he do?
Yeah, how he do.
Yes.
Well, Andy's
Well-
quite the monster. So we'll see how that works out. Already back and forth a little bit. Definitely want to see how they're gonna get this information. Looks like they're just Breakaways trying to figure out what they want to do on A site. I think necessarily they're trying to get Mizzou in a good position. Shaw helping out, taking out Hazard. That's going to be a great place for Mizzou to just go ahead and start setting up on point.
Bit of an
Site,
aggressive
sorry.
approach onto
Whoa!
onto that A, onto the long A. I think was a bit of an overcommitment there by Breakaway. They've seen that the fast-paced aggression works, but they were up against pistols before, so Yeah, not entirely certain what they're hoping to get out of this one, but they have 2 players left alive. That is YDNA or Andy on the AWP, and Llamas as well. These two win these. We've seen it. So with B on its own, they might still actually have a chance here to at least get a plant. But he's been spotted.
Oh,
Oh, he wants that AWP. No, he doesn't. That's okay. It's in the fire. Well, that's good. This is pretty much what PC419 wanted. It's the first proper buy round into this. They get all the basically all the weaponry, firepower, utility that they want. A couple of concessions, helmets, but we've talked about that plenty of times before. We don't need it against AKs. And Breakaway, those first 3 rounds did give them a bit of money to work with here. So if they can figure out this side, which Andy is definitely going to figure out a round into Rook, they might be able to basically reset this side of PC419.
Extremely close right now. As yes, they did take out Rook, but I mean they did get a good chip onto Andy. 1 tap and pretty much they're going to be gone. Looks like they're pushing through A. Ooh, through smoke. Very cheeky.
Yeah, Jira, he needs to get at least 1 or 2 kills here. Whether he's able to do it or not, which he's not, pretty much leaves that task to the rest of Breakaway. If you take a look, 3 of them are hunting now. It's the only exception really was Hazard. He was holding it back, and with 3 CTs bunkered up in long A here, just outside a bedroom and a pit, don't think Breakaway want to commit too much to it.
Yes. Well, like you said, well, I mean, that is going to get them. I don't even understand that trade. I'm going to let you talk about this game real quick before it's over.
Oh, sorry. I have my mic muted. Llamas lost. Oh no. I was asking Bemi a question. It just sounds like Bemi is a maniac now.
Yep.
Pondent
Well,
will
we
be
knew
able to
that
take
was-
down Llamas.
Yeah, it was already normal. I mean, that's just Bemi.
Yeah, that's true. So, as I asked, now that my mic isn't muted, Bemi,
Yeah.
what do you feel like PC419 after seeing what they did that round and the way they've been playing previously, where Breakaway has been breaking through the defense so easily that they can do to stop Breakaway and be able to make up the rounds and potentially take out the victory in this match?
A little bit of hesitancy coming in from the side of PC419. They were going for the slight eco buys, but not really able to damage or dent to the economy with just that they had deagles, which I'm not really bothered by. If you want to go into that round 2, fine by me if you want to do that, but just make sure that you commit to the play. That's something that they got to be a little bit careful about, because they were falling back, going for saves. They managed to do that a couple of times, but I mean, Breakaway was also able to get the better of them in a lot of different points where they were protecting or just kind of positioning themselves in ways that they were sort of fully exposed. We saw Mizuna earlier just sort of on side A, just sort of fully exposed, and while they were able to win out that round because of their aggression, they were able to commit to those plays that time. But they got to be careful that if they do the hesitancy that they were doing and exposing themselves like that, they got to be very careful. And also denying that bomb plant is also pretty huge as well, because it may be just a few $100s, but a few $100 in CS:GO we know makes the difference, because it can add that extra flash or smoke that does allow you to steer the fight as a T side.
Well, the approach does come on to A. I'm seeing a bit more of a tempo rise here from Breakaway Esports back to their old ways from the first few rounds of this matchup, and that's pretty much it. One thing that PC419 isn't able to do so far is pretty much recover after they've lost about 2 or 3 players. We haven't seen them do it yet, so that firepower is great for them, and they've been able to build that up a few times, and that's given them the 2 rounds on the board. But as soon as Breakaway seems to get a couple of picks, the rest of PC419 is getting caught out either through rotations or just through, in some cases by Breakaway, they're just stampeding them. So,
that is true, but Llama's in a very bad situation now. He's getting rushed down by BD. He will get dropped. And now BD with an AK in hand, but B site's open, which is when Noisy is pushing out into now. J-Raw rotating over with the bomb. 2 AKs recovered for PC419. And Andy sitting back with his AWP. Looking towards bedroom. He won't be able to find anyone at the moment as they are all rotating over towards the B site. And this is going to get a little bit awkward for Breakaway in just a moment with 4 people essentially about to rush in from what it looks like. There is no
Look at
utility.
the way they're set up, though.
There is no utility, so they have to move relatively quickly and as one.
Sure gets one. Molotov does burn down Jira just a little bit. And this is actually getting a little bit precarious. I think the lack of armor is going to be their saving grace here for Breakaway if they're able to just tear through these remaining players. Oh,
No.
sure, another excellent shot. Does he get in the next one? I don't think he actually saw Jira. He didn't.
No, he didn't,
And
but they don't have a kit.
They don't have a kit.
Oh, no!
They would have had that round. This is why I'm so adamant about no matter what round it is, whether it's first round, the last round, whether you only have $400 in your bank, buy that kit. It doesn't matter if you sacrifice that deagle and just stay with the USP. Get that kit. You will save that round if you make it to that point. It is so heartbreaking to see it every single time, and PC419, that was so close. The J-Ra able to take down the diffuser and giving Breakaway that round.
Seeing another fast approach on a long A by Breakaway, who they themselves have actually had to make a bit of a concession here from that round. So all things considered, PC419 can at least say that that was a good eco round. They got plenty of weapons, but this confrontation on short here could be a bit spicy. Jira's going to have to be the one to take him down. He gets down 1, but I don't know if he's suspected Mizuna of having moved up yet.
I feel like PC419 is relatively weak on short. You see them pushing up most rounds when they do have rifles, and they always trade out 1 for 1 or 1 for 2 most of the time, and it gives Breakaway the advantage. Or even if they get the 2 kills and they drop 1, they're in a weaker position because they have to split a little less evenly, and it's uncomfortable. I don't feel like PC419 are comfortable in those situations where they have to be in that 4v5 or 4v3 and actually spread out a little bit more. Which is...
I agree.
It looks like that's their downfall at the moment, where they're not comfortable.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think if you're not going to be able to be comfortable in those situations, then those half ecos that they're going for, where they're buying into deagles and some utilities with the CZ and a couple of kits, just to be able to try to have some more firepower in those rounds where they can't afford everything, I think is putting them into those uncomfortable situations more and more than they would like to. So I think going for more full saves is something that PC419 needs to definitely do if they want to not be in those situations like you said. So I 100% agree with you on that.
I feel like that is a huge issue in the Australian scene, though. A lot of teams are forcing up constantly.
Yeah, it does make it an interesting situation. We're seeing right here again, this is just an investment where it will be a more uncomfortable situation. Look at this.
Almost without fail, they go for Breakaway go for long A, and PC419 know this. They're throwing 3 players at it, but they also don't necessarily want to get completely thrown off that point. And Pondon saves them from having just a complete wipe there, but that A side is absolutely gone. So Pondon's effectively just running now. There's nothing else he can do. His goal is to pretty much hang on to that AK and keep the CT economy as good as it possibly can be at this stage.
Yeah, that will be his goal, but at the same time, PC419, they're putting themselves in these bad situations, and Breakaway, as soon as they know that PC419 can't buy or they are on a lesser buy than full rifles, they just rush out long immediately and shatter any sort of defense that is there, and it's usually 3 players who all drop immediately and leave the last 2 players from B, or 1 player on B, 1 player in mid, that are in a very, very bad situation.
Well, Pondon somehow got away with that.
Somehow. Very close.
Yeah. And I think you're right about the
what?
long A.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
It's
do.
attack pause? Not a technical
exists.
one?
Is it a technical? Come on, let's be honest. It's
believe
more
it.
likely to be a technical.
Yeah. Somebody can't hear the game sound.
Australian internet playing up.
Oh yeah.
Nah.
But you're right about long A for sure. PC419, they throw extra players they stack it up with 3, but they're not able to withstand just the onslaught of Breakaway, even when they're fully kitted up, when they have everything they could want, weapon-wise, utility-wise, armor-wise.
Is the rotation awkward?
It's not. It's kind of, because they have to fall back from long if they don't feel like they can hold it, and that puts them in an off position as well.
Well, look at this now. There's 4 players on long ready for this, and Breakaway, they are getting
good
amazing.
use of ramp.
That is true. Good use of ramp, but Breakaway is getting these awkward timings of PC419 where they're not ready for these pushes, and Pondon, the only player left on B, will be able to take that Andy the Orper, but Hazza getting a very nice headshot back on him, and that's the B site gone. Once again, PC419 have just been baited hard by Breakaway.
Was nobody in mid?
No, nobody was mid. Those 4 players on long. And I feel like PC419 are reading way too much into Breakaway strats. Yes, they're going long quite a bit, but at the same time, you have to play your own game. You can't fall into the other team's game and how they want you to play. And I thought Hazza got that transfer. It was Llamas, but he was able to get that first kill as well. Very nice cleanup for Breakaway. But as I was saying, you have to play your own game. You play your own style. If you fall and conform to the way that the other team wants you to play, and Breakaway's pushing long, so you put extra players on long, that leaves B exposed. They instantly
speaking
go
of
to
B being
B.
exposed, though, that is,
Again.
they're going straight to it. They've spent so many rounds building up that A push that, and they're still committing a couple of players to it.
Why?
That, they've seen...
You don't...
Well, they could still commit those 2 players to long A just purely for the fact that if PC419 knows that they have to basically try and hold that no matter what, then 2 players can occupy so much of the CT side, and that's kind of why they're able to sell that fake A push a couple of rounds ago.
I have to point out something. I much prefer the 2-2-1 strategy on Dust 2. 2 players mid, 2 players A, 1 player B. You have a fast rotate to B, fast rotate to A. If you need it, one of the players from mid can rotate and hold from ramp and shut down a short push, while the other 2 players on long, or even 1 player from long, rotates back to help the short hold. You have a much stronger hold, much faster rotations, and if B starts getting hit, you have 3 players there immediately.
We've got double AWP, I think, on A. So that's
that we do.
one. Double AWPs is usually the point where teams just want to try and lock down things as much as possible. The fact that they're committing in both of them to this A site is a little bit telling.
Pondon is in mid, actually, and you have this short push once again. CJ and Shaw. This is going to get so dicey.
They don't know he's there.
He gets the first kill, but CJ is still there now. They know how close he is, and now Breakaway has actually stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, but they have the bomb. They could just simply go to B. Oh, Brooke. able to take him off guard. Now things are getting a little bit awkward. They are able to still pick up the bomb. Oh, why?
I don't know.
I would have just gone and rotated towards B and just go for the plant there.
I even rotated towards long, but that
Yeah, that's
mistake
true as
and
well.
that constant push towards short gave PC419 that round. And Breakaway still has a decent economy. It's a little bit lacking, but they will really be able to buy out for the rest of this half. And it's up to PC419 to bring it down to that 10-5 scoreline, which is the best they can get at the moment, and able to take down both players on long.
I think they were getting a little bit sick of Breakaway getting long A all those times. In fact, we're actually seeing a bit of a cheeky peek there from Ruok. He wants to move up and see what he can get here. Noisy is a little bit wary of it, but this has actually kind of allowed PC419 to get split.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean,
Look at the bomb.
It's okay.
Hold on.
Well, okay. Well, they have the bomb and they're gonna lock that down. Honestly, at this moment, this is it seems like PC419 finally able to commit to everything, but this is something that does worry me though. It's just the fact that they need almost 10 grand on each player to be able to feel comfortable with all utility kits and everything they need, just to be able to feel like they are able to commit to whatever they want. I mean, like we keep seeing earlier, we saw that they were going for just these default A pushes and not fully committing to it, just going towards door, but not really finding any results there, just sort of staying near ramp and then just kind of getting shut down really quickly. So I really hope going into this next half, we're going to see a little more committed plays. Andy still staying alive, but I think they're going to get shut down by Ruok real quick. Yep, that's going to be the round, which is fine. A 10-5 would be kind of the ideal dream right now for PC4. Yeah, most optimal. That would be probably the best way of saying it. But
And
overall,
it's available. Look at the economy of Breakaway at the moment. I'm surprised that Hazard didn't drop a scout down for Jabra. He has 1700 and it's the last round and a half, so why bother keeping that in the bank? Oh no.
okay.
Yep, there we go. That is pretty much the tempo that's served Breakaway pretty well, and it's worked out. In fact, yep, you called it. You and me. Short was perhaps a bit of a weak point for them.
I feel like it's because they're pushing up so aggressively, trying to get those early picks. And when they do that, they're getting flash. Breakaway have found out that they're pushing aggressively a lot of the time, and they pop flash straight out.
I think it's less to do with just how aggressively they are. It seems so hesitant because they do have the utility to respond to the aggression. They could drop a flash or something along the lines of that, but they just don't drop anything. They just kind of go for it.
They do have enough time, luckily, so it is going to be that 10-5 half.
They got a kit.
Yeah, they have the kit, which is they didn't have it. It could have been 9-6 half if they had that kit that one round earlier.
I'm a little bit surprised with a Breakaway that PC419 were able to claw an extra round or two there, because it kind of seemed towards the end of that first half that Breakaway is getting a little bit complacent. Like, for example, the all position there in that last round of the half, that wasn't really going to do a lot, and eventually he just jumps into the fight. So, not necessarily looking to get anything out of it.
I agree that Breakaway has started to look complacent, and they slowed down so much for most of the rounds that PC419 were able to take out. They slowed down. Instead of being their usual aggressive and utility heavy selves, they slowed up and gave PC419 those opportunities to shut them down.
Speaking of giving opportunities, PC419, it's pretty much on their, it's pretty much on them on PC419 to stop Breakaway from pretty much getting as aggressive on their CT side as they were on their T side. I think that's going to be perhaps the real danger for this T half.
That PC419 is just going to be able to be aggressive without having to worry about defusing the bomb. I mean, pretty much, less responsibilities could be a thing that they need. But I think Breakaway, just with the experience that they have together, they could be able to just have a lockdown in sight. I think we might see potentially at some point maybe even a double up setup as well, but maybe not locking down the sites, but more just like potentially one in mid and then one at A for long.
No kit. You are indeed correct. There's no kit on there. Are we going to see that? Are we going to see that become the fatal flaw?
Maybe Noisia was the last player to buy, and he waited so long. I thought he was about to buy a kit, but no.
Don't need a kit if you don't let them plant.
That is true.
Might be the.
That is wise words.
Look at Breakaway. They left mid completely open, and Are You Okay? CJ just deleted Hazard, putting him down to 1 HP. We'll be able to finish him off. Andy able to get 1, drop down to 3 HP himself. Will get finished off by Pondon. Mizuna out here in mid. We'll be able to find 1. Spots out a second player, but that's pretty much Breakaway's entire push shut down. They are a little bit worried of their behinds at the moment, and now BD, the only player, well, really contesting these pushes. Look at Noisy. He's still facing mid, worried about Mizuna.
Doing a good job to get these trades, but unfortunately, like you said earlier, the time is not on their side. So I think there's a little more, without having the kit, there's a little more expedient plays that weren't just necessary. And also the positioning, like you said, in mid, just not really having anybody to lock that down. And they've managed to get some very quick and easy kills. PC419, this is definitely the kind of pistol round that they were looking for to be able to start building their way back up. Already investing into the scout, got a bunch of AKs. Seems like all pretty good. And we're going to see more of a save coming in. But J-Raw with that Zeus, turning the tide of the war, baby. I'm all for that Zeus.
Oof. The fury of the Thunder Gods there.
He's out in mid. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. He's facing down a scout at the moment. And oh no, Breakaway, what are you doing? Rushing up short. They are.
Run away, he's got a USP.
They have a USP, but they're just getting mowed down at the top of mid there.
They don't have much to worry about.
All 5 players within less than 5 seconds deleted. And, well, now they have the money to buy up. And Andy with the glass cannon, but no kits. Again,
a bit of credit to PC419 just in mid there. If you see one player rushing up with the USP, the thought normally is that they're just going to conga line it, and so yeah, not the worst move just to hop back there. It's the safer one and certainly helps them in the long run. So it just looked a bit funny. That was all. But
yeah, can I jump in really quickly? Hazard, if he
Please.
didn't buy his helmet, he would be able to afford a kit. There are 4 AKs on the side of PC419. They should, if they have the mental state to be able to track the opponent's economy, which I'm not sure whether these teams have practiced and learned how to do that as of yet. I feel like these teams should know how to. They would know that most players would have AKs in hand. I'm not sure why Shaw has a UMP rather than an AK, but I feel like he shouldn't have had that helmet.
I think they want to get an AWP out of him later on, or it's something that we see some teams do sometimes. The SMGs is basically if you feel like you're doing well with it and you want to sort of try out your luck, you can just keep on going with the SMG to build up some money. Oh, that shadow!
Oh, he's only able to get 1, which is unfortunate for that position. He had the jump on, able to tag Pondon down low, but now it's up to Llamas, the only player. Actually, no, he's not. Hazard is here as well. J-Raw coming up mid, will be able to take down BD, and now he's in a decisive situation. Shaw will be able to take him down with that UMP. And Shaw getting stuck on something, I think. And Andy able to take him down, excuse me.
Well, we've got a pause coming in. That one might actually be a tech pause, but
Potentially, yeah.
If we've got a bit of time here, I'd actually just like to go back to something we saw in the second pistol round. So
By all means.
Mizuno, that positioning
Yes.
at the bottom of mid there was fantastic. He does get that one kill, but he also pretty much becomes the invisible. He pretty much becomes the fourth player. It's a bit of
Yes.
a concept there. They only have 3 alive, but the fourth player is in that situation is basically Mizuno, who could very well still be in mid.
The
And
mind
Breakaway don't know that.
games.
Yeah, and that's beautiful.
The
I love to
Phantom.
see that. Yeah. So I just had to point that out because I think they use that very well. Mizuno basically going to rush up tons again to get into the site was pretty much a fortified that position and basically kept Breakaway in a very awkward spot.
It delayed the push onto B site by Breakaway for so long because Noisia was actually sitting there at the window just facing mid. He didn't know whether to turn around and go to the site or whether to sit there and face mid because Mizuno could have come around from behind. And when he did push into the site, funnily enough, Mizuno actually took him down.
Yeah, he did get the second kill for that. I think was what popped up there. So yeah, great round from them for PC419. That's pretty much the kind of turnaround they wanna see for this. Breakaway, they do get that last round, but there is not to take anything away from Breakaway, but considering where we have definitely hopped into a tech pause here, if you can see it on the screens there, we do have one of the PC419 players off server at the moment, so
That will be the last player surviving getting deleted at the top of the mid there. A little bit awkward,
sure. He does
The
come
last
back.
moment.
Hooray! Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, at the moment, just the positioning of PC419, like you said earlier, just very strong flanking maneuvers. And I really do enjoy that. Breakaway, I feel, at the moment, winning after that round is just trying to use that utility a little more convincing because, again, that hesitation does come into play. And honestly, I feel like they were trying to find some openings to flush out the T's where honestly they could just go ahead and drop it right away like they're doing it right now. Good smoke on the nade, pressuring just to make sure that nobody's just rushing on to B. But they will find it's mid and nobody's at mid.
Again.
But it seems like they're able to respond to this one a lot more quickly though. Well, that's a nice triple.
Well, it really is.
Ooh, baby. But-
Ooh, baby, a triple.
Wow, this is an amazing eco from PC419. They've leveraged what they've found to be a gap in the defenses from Breakaway in mid, and they pretty much pain trained it.
Yeah, they capitalized on that so well.
And that's exactly what Breakaway was doing to PC419 with that mid. And Andy running in with this USP will be able to take down one. Not able
they
to
have
get
a
the
kit?
second, but they do have a kit. Hazard with the kit. I was criticizing
God.
the other round from that having one.
They heard you. There was enough
Heard me.
stream delay and the speech was long enough that they heard you.
Heard me because of the technical pause.
Exactly. You know, sometimes that does happen where like they will. I've heard a couple of players that do listen to the stream sometime while they are casting as well, just to see if they like go like, oh yeah, that is something I can do. And sometimes in an online environment like that, you can take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's not something you should be doing. I personally am.
No,
against
of
it.
course
And
not.
Although J-Rock, he's about to get a mad
Whoa!
spray now. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa!
Did he get some more?
Whoa!
He picks up an
goes for the
AK.
knife. Oh, so close to the ace.
Actually, no. Llama's got one of the kills in there as well. Llama's shut down that ace, but that was a very, very quick cleanup. And PC419, they just wasted 5 AKs.
What
They
what
rushed
was
into
that?
B with full nades, full gear, and
Why?
just got shut down. I don't know. At the
I think
point
I'll
of
it's-
shut up about being hesitant with their kids, but oh my gosh, Pondon is angry.
that it is, and at the point of rushing B, it should be this round and buying Mac 10s.
So I think
Why is this the save?
I think what they were doing last round is that they might have anticipated a bit of save from Breakaway, considering just how much they'd hurt the economy then, but they didn't get it. So yeah,
We
that's where I think it kind of broke down there, and PC419 kind of yeah.
Potentially, but it's a very awkward situation. Now they've picked up 2 rifles. Can they make these work though? How's that able to get one? He's up against the AWP now though, and I have to say PC419, they rushed B and they knew mid is essentially open every single round. And now they're going towards long when they know that there was a player in CT facing them. That's going to be very awkward and noisy. Able to get that first kill, sure. Gets the trade back, but now Hazza in a 1v1 against Shaw, and it's AWP vs AUG.
I like the AUG's chances.
So do I, and oh no. Sure.
Oh, or never mind. Okay, well, Jev, you're here. That's why.
I said
My
nothing.
cast of curses.
Okay? I said zero.
No, Jeff,
things
you're
about that
giving,
You are in the same desk as us.
you're giving Demi your cast to curse. Your curse.
It's good. Maybe you can have it. I don't want it anymore.
I don't want it either. But all I'm gonna say is I'm pretty sure that opening kill onto Andy was just so huge that the fact that they were able to shut that down very quickly, and Andy, their designated op, are pretty much gone, so they were able to go as aggressive as they so desired. And I mean, while yes, they were getting good back and forth, Breakaway, PC419 just a little bit ahead of the curve just because he had that op still running for them.
And look at the double AWP up setup now from Breakaway. They're both glass cannons.
No kits.
No kits again. And at this point,
Take it away.
Noisia could have done it. Hazza and Llamas. They all have helmets. Actually, no. All 4 of them. If they didn't buy helmets, they could have avoided a kit. You only need $50 plus not buying a helmet to get that kit. And once again, no kits.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's just so.
It drives me mental.
It is kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
Well, at the same time, a lot of players use buy-binds. And so they just hit one button and it buys a helmet and armor. So they don't even think about not buying helmets. It's just instant, you have a helmet.
Yeah, that is another thing that is something to be careful about, is going autopilot when you're buying stuff. Yeah, you may know what to buy, but do you know what to buy for this situation is probably a bigger question that people should be asking themselves.
Yep.
Right now, they gotta be careful of Mizuna. Noisia probably gonna try to find some pick, but you know, Mizuna is in a nice position at car where pretty much they're gonna be able to pick off one by one if they don't focus on it or try to flush it out. No utility to be able to do that. They're gonna go for
save.
Potentially a unique. Yeah.
I'm happy about it. Let's go.
We're gonna
Very
assume
smart.
that he's clapping there, but
That
anyway.
was clapping. It was.
Jeff, come on, dude. This is PG-13.
No, it's MA15 plus. What do you mean? It's a rating
Look,
of CS.
That's good for Breakaway Esports. Just getting those 2 AKs. I mean, considering how deadly they have been on them so far, plus the AWP on Noisia, that's fantastic overall. I mean, PC419's economy is strong, and it might take a round or 2 to beat it, but Breakaway has that 4-round lead, so they've got a lot of time to work with still.
Yeah, a lot of elbow room, a lot of the abilities to do this. But I mean, a personal word that you will know I like is the word wonky, and I use that to describe economies right now. And it's kind of wonky, the economy for the side of Breakaway, going for a very unique safe, just kind of working with what they have right now, and they're getting shut down by Mizuna right away. I don't know what they're trying to aim for or have a goal with this. They are just getting shut down one by one. J-Raw. Oh, they do get one, but they are going to get followed up here. Potentially? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And it's now in the double digits. We are getting close.
It is getting close, and I have to say, the shots from CJ were very, very nice. It was a one tap and then a spray down onto the second player. Both headshots taking them down from unders to short.
Yeah, he did make that look very clean indeed. That's normally the point where you get double peaked on an eco that you're pretty vulnerable. But it wasn't really those 2 he had to worry about. It was Jira down and unders. So,
Jeff, I have a quick question for you. So when they had those 2 AKs in the AWP and they didn't invest anything, they actually went for pretty much a full save technically. Why was that? Why didn't they just invest into some utility at the very least, and maybe a couple of CZs or Deagle?
I think it's a mix of wanting to go for just pure damage, plus the fact that if you know that you've got those extra rounds to work with, you don't necessarily need to force things up too soon. That could actually result in giving away a few extra rounds to PC419. So if you're deadly with AKs and with AWPs, as we know that Breakaway are, then it's pretty much just hedging your bets, seeing how you can really what you can get away with, kind of like a half four, where some players would have rifles and others won't.
That's fair. I just felt like just sort of that it does, when you kind of do that, it does make things a little bit awkward because you kind of go like, yeah, I want to go aggressive because I just saved in this and my team's probably not going to win this, but I also really want to hold on to these to make sure my economy is worth it in the long run. But here we go right now. Back and forth. Andy able to tie this up, actually get the lead. What's going on here? Woo!
Oh no. And Mizuna is able to barely escape the shot.
They are exhausted.
He was crab walking away. It
Done.
wasn't enough.
Why Bemi?
What? It's
Jeff,
exhausted.
did you catch that?
Get it? Because it's like, you know, it's an AUG and they're getting beat down by it.
I wish you didn't revisit that one. that was awful.
I understood the pun. It's just, it wasn't great. Also,
this is why we have tri-casting.
Breakaway, once again, nobody playing in mid.
Why is that?
The closest player is Andy up on short. And I don't know. I want to ask.
Do they think they can
pinch,
pinch them out that way?
Maybe.
I honestly think it's just the fact that that PC419 hasn't punished them enough for it yet. That's purely it. If PC419 really leveraged that a lot more, you would see a change of Breakaway.
In saying that, Jeff, PC419 haven't really been exploring the map as much, and pushing for that information. So I don't really know that mid is clear a lot of the time because they're not pushing out to gain that intel.
Shore's time is very limited.
Very. And he's going to be roasted.
Live.
Match point!
Well, there we go. Yep, match point.
It is the match point, ladies and gentlemen. Will PC419 be able to take us to overtime, or will we be going to Breakaway winning right here? I don't know.
Looking at the economy,
felt like it.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not.
There could be a clutch round, and I could potentially curse myself, but you know, they have kits, they have utility, they have a lot of flashes, they have 2 AUGs. It's Jeff, man. I'm telling you. I swear I don't have it.
I swear,
Jeff,
both
if
of you have
if PC419 wins this round, I'm going to leave this game.
Well,
okay,
you
well,
have
good.
one, and I don't. And Jeff has the worst one of all the people that I know. And
he has a genetic one. It comes from a long lineage of like casters.
Yes.
And in saying that, Breakaway win this game very quickly.
16-10 though. PC419 did have a great run to be able to bring back those rounds. It was, I believe it was like 7-0 or 7-1 at one point. So
I think it was even 9.
It was, yeah, it was like 9. Actually, no, it was 10-2 or 10-3. So
it was something like that, something ridiculous where it was like already in the double digits.
Yeah, it was 10-5 at half, and it was 10-3. Then PC419 won 2 rounds to bring it back to 10-5. So
I guess it really came down to just like who punished whose bad behavior the most, and in this case, Breakaway punished the fact that there was so much aggression coming in from A long almost all the time repetitively that, you know, Breakaway was just able to punish that even more than PC419 was able to when Breakaway wasn't even at mid.
That is true. And ladies and gentlemen, we will take just a quick break, give you some music to listen to, take a break from our voices, let's get some water and stuff. If you have enjoyed our casting, English, hello. Our cast, what?
I don't think we have any English people on this cast.
I think I just had a stroke.
Okay,
our
well,
Twitters
we'll be right back.
will be in the Twitch chat, so if you have enjoyed our casting, go give us a follow on Twitter, and we will be back very shortly with the Pop Out Boys vs X Paradox.